Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of It's a Progressive World, a lighthearted podcast about everything and nothing. As always, you can find timestamps down below, and please like and subscribe. Alrighty, Sam, let's give a quick overview of what you have in store for us today.
Sure. So today I felt was a bit of a slow week. So we have a slow news week speaking.
I mean,
So
it is
we're
only
gonna this.
Tuesday, but
It is only Tuesday. True. It's hard to do a bi-weekly show, people. You don't understand the difficulties we have. Just come up with topics to talk to a friend who you know for years. But we've got a Glenn Greenwald went on PBD. That was last week, pretty much. So we have a video to
Friday,
look at
yeah.
Friday. Oh, well, is that? I don't know, man.
Yeah, it was last week, you're right. But
Was it last? I don't know.
4 days ago, yeah.
Because I have students both in Europe and in Iran. I don't know where weeks start and where they end anymore. But at any rate, also we're gonna take a very brief look at some old friends because we have time. Look at some Gray Zone, Useful Idiots, and one more, I forget. See what they're up to. Then we're gonna before that possibly we're gonna discuss the recent left on left violence we had. Cornel West versus Bernie Sanders. I don't know, is it a left on left violence? 20 onset, like
Yeah, I guess.
geriatric on
No.
geriatric
Hey,
violence.
whoa. What should you say
They're
about
very
Bernie?
old. Oh, sorry, I just see some leftover loyalty there. So we're going to discuss that, and I'm trying to think. Did we? Oh, and some fun news from Latin America. We're going to have a bit of a Latin show as well this week. We're going to discuss the Pope, his new enemy in Argentina, and the continuing sagas of the head of the Spanish league, who's with new characters and unbelievable new characters. And obviously, before all of that, I forgot the biggest news of all: aliens.
Indeed. So maybe I say we just go straight to the aliens and yeah, we'll talk about the Pope and all that towards the end.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
let's start with the aliens. So, a bit of a different story than usual and recent alien stories. Like, in fact, this one is completely, not maybe fully, but at least a good 50% of it is completely separate from the Dave Grosh. Like, you could have had this guy without much of that development. Now, there wasn't
first,
as
right?
much interest in this topic, perhaps you could say. But and then I have a hold on, and then, yeah, go ahead.
Wait. So what we are talking about is a Hill video in
Oh
which
yes.
can you go to the just I'm going to read the title. Dr. Avi Loeb, I believe, PhD. I think he's Italian, by the way, right? The accent seems Italian. Anyway,
No.
he no. All right.
We'll find
I'm
out, but
sorry.
no.
Can you zoom in? I can't
Oh,
really.
sorry.
Yeah. So, or read actually. Dr. Avi Loeb teases bombshell from UAP or UFO retrieval in Pacific Ocean. Do you remember this guy from before?
I just want to check one thing.
No, but he was the guy they brought in when David Grush was going on about testifying in Congress and was going on about interdimensional beings.
Oh, okay.
He
Was it
was the one
him?
that, yeah, they brought him and he was like,
Oh,
yeah, I don't know about these interdimensional beings. He's talking out of his ass, I believe. He's an actual doctor. And yeah, it's like this story, I mean, play it, but people like he had a book and he wanted to promote his book. I'm still I don't know what is the connection between his book and the recent UFO reportings and all
no,
that.
no, there's no
It was
That's what I was saying exactly. There's no connection
exactly
to the
that's
recent, but I
yeah.
mean, he's in his topic is hot though. So I mean, you're gonna bring him on. And then, of course, they show him some
Oh, sure.
clips. Like the first half is actually we're gonna watch. The first half he talks about his book. The second half, like, okay, can we just show you some clips and you react? He's like, sure, go ahead,
Yeah.
play.
Scientists react.
So then it's just some people saying nonsense about aliens, and then he
No,
responds.
but
Not, yeah,
I
you're
mean,
first.
yeah, no, I was just giving you the context
Yeah.
that he's actually like he's, I think, yeah, I was surprised they brought him on again because he was so dismissive of
No,
David
they showed
Gerstein.
him the craziest
But
one of like a crazy clip from
no,
from
the
David
last
Rush's
time,
testimony. Yeah, the last time they showed him exactly about like interstellar stuff,
interdimensional cameo.
interdimension.
Yeah, but this time, I think this time, first of all, I think he has the right idea. Like UFO bullshit, people are gonna pay attention to it, so might as well sell my book in the middle of this nonsense. So he has the right idea.
But he'd probably
Secondly,
already written his book before that, though.
yeah, but he uses this sort of public event to
Oh
promote
no
it, I
shit!
suppose.
Oh yeah, and he just
No,
published, so
no,
maybe he sped up the process. No, I'm joking. Just fortunate timing. I mean, he had
maybe,
another
or
book on them in 2021, and so yeah.
yeah, but also this in this interview, especially man, the second half when I mean, he starts losing it with these people, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it so much.
So do you want to
This
go
was
to
probably the
that
best
part?
interview. Sure, or we can, yeah,
Or like,
you
but
know,
here's what he says. Maybe I'll
let's
just play a minute
watch
to
from the
hear
beginning.
the thesis of his book, and then we'll go straight there.
Traveling to Earth using dark energy
research.
propulsion. Well, Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb wrote a paper last year about how gravity and dark energy could hypothetically be manipulated to enable humans to travel through space. So are aliens using this same system? Here to discuss this possibility is Dr. Avi Loeb himself. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So last time we talked, you were on your boat it was the South Atlantic. Is that right, or South Pacific?
Yeah, Pacific.
Okay, and you were dredging up these spherical objects from the ocean floor that you argue are interstellar in nature. In other words, they came from outside of the solar system and ended up dispersing into these tiny particles. Remind us again of what evidence exists that you think suggests that those are part of extraterrestrial life.
Well, this meteor that was more than 0.5 meter in size was spotted by US government satellites back in 2014, almost a decade ago. It was moving very fast, actually faster than 95% of all the stars in the vicinity of the sun when it was outside the solar system. It came from interstellar.
Okay, so that's like his recent article and everything. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I was going
just
to
love the
explain again what he's saying.
No, I'm not going to re-explain what he said, but
I wanted to.
Oh, go ahead after this. But I love the fact that breeze, or there. So there is, you discuss the potential for human alien sort of, I don't know, aliens having used something to travel across interstellar space, and he's like, there was a thing in 2014, and it's not clear, and it's just I mean, you'll see in the interview he basically says nothing. He says we don't know anything. That's what he says basically.
Yeah, and like I think this research that he talks about here, and I think they keep on talking about, is just he says there was a meteor that came from outside, like a piece of rock that came from a different, not from the solar system, but from outside of it.
Yeah, from a different.
And in 2014, it was recorded, and then like it fell and broke down at the bottom of the Pacific, and this came from a place from outside, right?
And they think the speed of it, because of the speed it was moving through space, makes it a bit sort of difficult to say. I guess if it was, it's potentially, I guess something could have propelled it or something. That's, but it seemed to me though, after he talks for like 5 minutes, it's kind of like, like it's, I guess anything is possible, I guess, Jesus could have come back. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I mean, it's actually not that crazy. I mean, if you were to do like any kind of like study of like space stuff on Earth or something, it would be that, right? Like, okay, this rock fell. Maybe at least this rock. I mean, at least like 50% of the story is there. Like, it's established that a rock did fall. Okay,
this now is the actual rock that actually fell.
Okay, so that we know. Okay, I've collected it from the bottom of the Pacific. Okay.
No,
where it came from,
Yeah, but I like that you just can put a line, it could come from aliens, and then 20% increase in sales, right there. Right there. By just adding a line that it could have been God
Yeah.
sending us a message. Well,
Yeah.
why not? It could have been. How do you know?
The publication like looks at the photo cover, is like, okay, nice title. How about this though? Plus aliens
Plus.
confirmed. Okay, fine. Not the confirmed. Plus aliens.
Not confirmed.
Is that okay?
Plus
Okay,
aliens. Plus possibly aliens?
yeah.
Possibly? Or maybe aliens? Come on, maybe. Maybe it's less than
High
20.
likelihood. That sounds okay. That sounds scientific, right? Okay. Extremely high likelihood. No, okay, fine. Just high likelihood. Very high.
Yeah.
Super high likelihood. Come on. Okay, fine. Super high likelihood.
No, that's too
A
much.
female alien. No, okay. Why do you...
Getting too specific.
No. Potentially
Nice.
female alien. Okay, I need to stop. But yeah, and so yeah, I mean, you know, he's a science. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't.
Then
he's not
at
amused
some
by
point,
this kind of nonsense.
or no, they bring up an article apparently from a New York Times or New York Post about him and his stuff, and then go to that. They put up the headline of that. I think it's here. I think. Yeah, and then his response after this is amazing. So just play
about
the
your work,
question.
people who questioned whether or not these spherical objects really are what you believe them to be, and questioning some of the math that is included in the trajectories as you've been analyzing, you know, why you believe it's interstellar. What would actually happen if an interstellar object at the velocity that you described hit the Earth? Would there be anything left at all? And I want to give you an opportunity to respond to the argument that there is some inaccuracy here that would suggest that this is not, in fact, evidence of extraterrestrial life.
Well, I don't need to respond because I have the material and we examined it. And stay tuned for tomorrow. The point is, these people expressed opinions. The US Space Command came forward in a formal letter to NASA more than a year ago, in March 2022, where they said that at the 99.999% they're confident that this meteor came from outside the solar system. We went out there, we found the spherules that very likely belong to this meteor, and moreover, we analyzed their composition. Irrespective of the speed, we can tell if the materials are different from solar system materials. And, you know, it's not a matter of an opinion.
Oh, sorry.
And I don't need to defend it because we have the materials. You see, there are two other types.
But hey, I like this guy.
No, I love. I mean, we're gonna play more. I play more, but I love how it started with. I don't need to respond to anything. I have the material.
Yeah, that made no sense. So after that, I liked it.
Take a hike. No, that makes a lot of sense. I have this stuff. You don't have anything. Take a hike, buddy. Like you're speculating. I can claim to touch the thingy that fell from the sky. Okay, fuck you. No, I like that. I really enjoy it.
Do you want to go to his other stuff?
No, play a bit more here. It gets crazy. He gets at their profession.
Real scientists seek the evidence,
analyze
the evidence, all the materials, and get
I have the real
But there are two other types of people. People who have opinions and talk about it forever, and people who are cheering for the work of science. They just publicize science. They talk about science, just like, you know, movie commentators. They don't direct films. They just talk about the films being produced. And you have to distinguish between people who talk and people who walk the walk, who actually do the work of science.
You have to distinguish between, you know, a bunch of cheerleaders who just come out and, you know, just are having fun, and real serious people who have this stuff at their lab, who have this stuff in their personal home. Some of this stuff you don't have this stuff. I mean, I loved him, man. I loved how he went after, you know, there are two other types of that was, by the way, I don't know if that system works. There's three types of people, he said. There is the scientists, there is the people who like to talk about their opinions, and then there is the commentators. So which one are we, by the way, do you think?
We don't even make it on his list, I think. But come on, we're positive commentators. Is he still gonna? I mean, here we're being
No,
positive. Is he still gonna hate on us? Oh, I guess
not
then we're in
on
the
us.
publicized one.
No, we are on his side, man.
But
He's
we're
on our side that
publicizing
this
it. But that was also
Yeah.
category.
Oh, that's negative category. You're right. The cheerleaders. You're right. No,
No, unless we make our own science, unless we make our own alien research. Okay, where do I
Yeah,
start?
we have to get
Okay,
to our
where
own
was this
stuff.
place in the Pacific? I'll go there. Where?
Okay, we don't have this stuff. Shit, we can't talk about it. Yeah, you're right. But I still don't get it though. Is he pro UFOs or anti UFOs? I'm not sure, but yeah.
No,
He's great.
No, I mean, do you want to just watch 10 seconds of something here? Like here you get his, I mean, here I think his reaction to these kind of.
Oh, go to your reaction segment of this.
Watch this.
Watch that.
Just a quick question in regards to the non-human intelligence.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
Do you know what form it's in, and can you tell us?
I do.
Yeah, really
well, at least I do know what I've been told.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I can't go there at the moment.
Huge quality.
I'm working on further revelations to come out very soon.
Of course you are.
I promise you that when I'm able to talk about that, I will.
What a con artist.
It's
what a
for a
fraud.
very, very good reason. It's to protect largely
British
sources and
con
methods
artists
for
are
helping me.
especially annoying.
No, this guy's
you'll see why
fucking
soon.
What are your thoughts on these claims of non-human biologics?
On this
Do you
clown.
think it's possible
What are your
that
thoughts
those form is actually known by these whistleblowers, or is your work, so different or concentrated in such a different area that
anyway we can connect your serious work to this nonsense?
No. I mean, it's all, science is all about the evidence. If the U.S. government has some materials that demonstrate or substantiate these claims, let's see it. But if people just talk about it, it doesn't amount to much because people can fabricate stories. So telling the difference between what people talk about and what is really out there is the key here. It's not a matter of opinions because we are dealing with materials, with something that was retrieved according to Grush. And actually, Grush himself did not witness, according to him, any of those materials. So he just listened to 40 eyewitnesses who told him about these things. And I believe him, he's sincere, but the question is whether they fabricated the story or not. And until we see the evidence, I would not be convinced because as a scientist, I'm just guided by evidence. There are lots of people who talk. But
man, what a fraud that other guy was though in the video.
Oh yeah, that guy. So yeah, again, the fact that he's sort of exaggerated received British pronunciation really adds to how much you wanna just pummel him. But play just a bit more. He adds an analogy there, which I really like.
Let's keep our eyes on the ball, as they say in basketball.
Yeah, I think that's such an important point because
that
was it.
Yeah. No, did you see, man? The guy does not only he knows the analogy, he knows the etymology of that. He's like, as they say in basketball, you know that.
Well, it's obvious. Where else would it come from?
I don't know. I thought any sport you have to keep your eye on the ball. I thought all this. But yeah, man, I liked how he was like, a lot of people can talk, but there is don't connect my book.
I mean, again,
bullshit.
I like Rising, and Rising is really fooling people because they pretend like they take the alien stuff seriously. Let's put the interview with this guy alone. They pretend that they take the alien stuff seriously. They keep on producing alien stuff, so the people who like alien stuff and watch it, and they're covering it positively, so they're happy. But at the same time, they go and find the most, I think, crazy things that are said about it. From David Grosh, the interdimension thing. I mean, this clip here with this guy. I mean, or when was it? Last week? What was the most insane thing they covered last week?
Oh, they killed.
It was
they
the
killed
other British guy.
They have killed. No, it wasn't. That guy's. I think Jeremy Corbell. The guy with the safe behind him.
Yeah, I think so.
There was.
Anyway, maybe all the stories out there are crazy. Yes, yeah. Maybe all the stories out there are crazy. But no, I feel like the Hill, they know what they're doing. They're like, give
No,
me the
man.
good stuff. Give me the good stuff. Okay, none of this
I-
cheap fake aliens. Give me the good stuff.
Look, anybody claim to actually had sex with an alien? Anyone?
Not that we're
Anyone?
interested.
Yes, come here,
UFOs
come
and
here,
stuff.
come.
Let's...
You are on now. You are on 10 minutes to the interview. Get ready. You're gonna be talking about how you how you met. You know, what was the lead up to the sex fight?
Come on,
Yes.
go on. I know it's 4:30
Go.
a.m. That's when we record here. So go. Yeah.
Robbie, you ready? Robbie, don't laugh in his face, okay? Please don't laugh in his face. Yes. Yeah, I mean, look, man, I love the fact that the Hill is, I don't know what they like. They have the best thing going on there, right? They're like, oh, we are anti-establishment,
Yeah.
but we are based in like Washington and are pretty much establishment. And then they cover like UFO news basically and Joe Rogan like videos. Like latest, what Joe Rogan thinks about this Barbie movie. Let's talk. So they cover those two, and then they sit around. They like when they are not covering those two, they're criticizing other news channels for their coverage. Oh, can you believe CNN did that? Can you believe? And it's like, yeah, I can, since you're doing this.
No, and
Anyway,
seriously, and yeah, and I don't know. I mean, honestly, on the alien stuff, I would say that they're taking it as, if you think that like we're taking it as a joke, I feel like they're taking it equally as a joke. Like Robbie doesn't buy that shit at all. She just talks about Star Trek. But yet, like when you read the comments, people think like, you know, oh, no, they're taking it the same way as they are. So kudos to them for fooling their
yeah, good. No, kudos
the
them too,
audience.
yeah. Not just a lot of not having open contempt for their own audience. Yeah, I guess. No, you're right. Dude, I was gonna ask you though, do you think Sager knows about this guy or Sager? Do you remember, do you think this guy would be invited to Breaking Boys? Sager, what did you say about David Grush? What did you mean? Fabricated. What do you mean fabricated?
No, he would be so Sager would be so like disappointed in what this guy said. Like, and maybe in the interview he won't like whine about it like too much, but like after, like if he talks about it, just be like, you know, we had this professor on and try to tell him to take this story of like UFOs and aliens parachuting, you know, seriously, but he just wasn't interested, you know.
Just, you know,
yeah, no shit.
Kept trying to tell him ghost stories, and he was like, "I'm not 12. I don't want to listen to your ghost stories. Not interested. Yeah, you'll
because that's more Sager's approach. He's not only like pissed off; he's also like disappointed.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, with Ken, it was same age. He was a journalist. You're right. It was much more like, yeah, I can punch.
No, but before too, I've seen it. He's like, you know, why don't more journalists take this seriously and, you know, go dig into it? You know, he's like so disappointed and his colleagues, you know.
Yeah,
why doesn't he do it? Why doesn't the goddamn Breaking Point hire someone? I'm not saying him, fine, he needs to be in the studio.
The company.
Why don't they hire someone and tell him to go, you know?
Well, Intercept did, and you saw what happened to Ken Clipperstein. He's lost all credibility within 2 seconds. So nobody's touching that shit with a 10-foot
They're like,
pole.
okay, here's what we want. We pretty much want an alien live here by tomorrow. If not, we're not paying you. Like,
look,
I was gonna go interview someone.
The headline tomorrow is aliens confirmed. Now you're responsible for the evidence part of I'm responsible for headline. You're responsible
and I've already done my job. Okay.
And it's got a lot of clicks already waiting to watch the video. So your turn now. The ball is in your court. Yeah, nobody's touching this anymore. No real journalists. Like, because what can you tell them? Like, you can't prove a negative, man. You can't. What do you want? Like, it's ridiculous.
But they have a low bar also. The evidence can just be like someone told me, or even someone told someone who told you.
Yeah,
That's how
If you-
far you can get. Like, so yeah,
if you,
so it's
if you
up to you.
embrace if you embrace a sort of a loose methodology, it
Yeah.
could work. Yeah, it could work. Yeah,
And
you're right.
if
you're
you
right.
want, fine, you can say that you got told about the actual UFOs, but the alien, the person wasn't too sure. If you want, we can settle on that. But the
Oh yeah, you can
UFO
play
thing,
around with the
that
details.
you saw. There was a mechanic working on it.
There
He
was a
couldn't change
light
the
bulb.
tires.
And then three girls came over and were like, you know, here, Mr. Alien, have this peace offering. And then the alien went, ah! The more, if you can add some element of surprise, perhaps a
Too
romantic
funny.
love story between the alien and one of us, anything to add to the sales of
Too
this book.
funny.
Yeah, it's too good. But yeah, like you can't, like, how do you do
Yeah.
you know, how do you prove a negative? So it's impossible to argue with. You know what I
100%.
mean? It's like something's out there.
But listen,
I
on
guess
that note,
it is.
once again we got carried away. The show is
Oh.
almost over. So I suggest we move on to our
Yeah, fair enough.
Alrighty, Sam, let's move on. Like, honestly, every time we do one of these alien videos, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I have anything to say anymore. But next thing you know,
Next thing you know,
can
we
go
are
on for 3
discussing.
days.
Yeah, okay, exact interview between Sager and this guy. Let's go. Let's replay it. We can do it, Camille. We can. Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
this is another story
nothing
that
else
is
seems fun after that. It's like, it's like doing
no.
hard drug. It's
I
weak.
leave that at the beginning, but I should maybe perhaps leave it for the end then. But yeah,
No, Glenn and PBD are fun too. Glenn and PBD are
PBD,
fun. Glenn and
PBD.
PBD,
Remember
yeah.
PBD. But I thought this is another story that surprisingly generates some measure of enthusiasm, even if it is negative from you. So now we are discussing, this is a headline from Politico, if I'm not mistaken. Sanders hits at Cornel West over criticism of Biden. And then I don't know if
that makes no sense. The subheading. I read it. It's
Oh.
like very like random. It's okay. Or it's so lame. There is a real question where democracy is going to remain in the US, Sanders said.
No, whether democracy,
Yeah.
as in, Trump.
Yeah.
No,
but come
it
on,
is,
you
by
should
the way-
elaborate on the headline, not just it's okay. The headline is about Cornel West. Now here, let me just tell you about something else. That's
you're not
usually how it
familiar with
works.
you're not familiar with the writings of medieval Gnostics, but they also wrote similarly with like clue. Oh, now I'm gonna give you a clue about what is the actual like issue. Like
No.
now, but
I
no.
want to know what he said about Cornell. What does this have to do with anything?
This is when you have overeducated, a script writer, copywriters.
Yeah. So let's get to actually what he said, or go ahead.
Okay, so so what they're referring to, Cornel on CNN or Breakfast Club said that some politicians, including, I guess he must have said, I'm guessing here, Brother Bernie, are afraid of the potential of neo-fascism that is potentially would come with Trump, as in end of democracy in America. So they don't go hard enough on Biden, and they don't I think Bernie had some rally or something said this economy is, Joe Biden is getting as good as possible or something along those lines, and Cornel is saying that Bernie is lying or not telling the truth because he's afraid of the neo-fascism of brother Trump, as Mr. West would put it. So I mean, I think there is a bit of a they're trying to make a story here, because he wasn't really criticizing Bernie so much as he was just describing. I mean, you could, I guess he was like not hitting out at Sanders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was, Mr. Sanders, you need to respond to, it wasn't like that. So I think it was a bit like that. Then Bernie Sanders was on, I think, Fox News or I don't know, one of these mainstream stuff, was confronted with these lines, and Bernie Sanders said that so in the news story they asked Bernie Sanders, what is your response to Cornel West is saying that because of Trump and fear of Trump, you are saying that we should vote for Democrats. And they asked Bernie Sanders, so what is your response to that? And Bernie Sanders' response, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but basically went, ooh, ooh, Trump, 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 ooh, Trump, 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 ooh. And then he just stopped. That's the response that I saw from Bernie Sanders. So in some ways, I would say the response really confirmed exactly what Cornel West was talking about. It was like it was like saying, no, I think Cornel West is wrong in his assessment, but right now I'm gonna do exactly what Cornel West said. So I'm gonna say Trump is existential threat to democracy, and this time, guys, this time it's real. Come on, this time you have to show up. I know I said this every time, but this time, come on, guys, come on.
You're too funny.
So am I wrong with was I wrong? Didn't Bernie basically just started doing like, ooh, Trump is coming, ooh?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You still love Bernie too much. You
No.
can't even like say anything.
No, it's true.
Like,
I think we've
guess.
got to bring the entire progressive can defeat Trump or whoever the Republican nominee will be and support Biden. Yeah, no. I mean, to be fair, he's doing exactly.
So,
but I mean,
no, it's.
I mean, I've like scooped down to this level of expecting that for. I mean, I think after 2020,
no, I was expecting
more Democrat than any time in his life. I mean, I don't know it passed that much, but
I think after 2020, I think it's probably after 2020 it became clear that he can't keep the charade of both sides going on. Like he had to make a choice then, and he did. Like not choice so much. He had to basically, okay, this is really I'm on this side, real guy's side, but. I expected a slightly more. You can at least, I don't know. I found it so untactful to immediately go from. He says you're fear mongering about Trump. No. Let me just tell you how scary Trump is, though. Just before moving on, I'm not fear mongering, but let me tell you a scary story about one time Trump just walked into the jungle. It was. I don't know. It was
I
just
guess then I
be a
agree
bit
with
more tactful.
Brother Cornel here.
Yeah, Brother Cornel is doing slightly better here. By the way, does Bernie owe any money tax? No, you don't think? No.
Bernie pays taxes on time.
Yeah, you think so?
Okay, let's go to PBD. Oh boy, and I mean, I'm sure you've heard this part, but the part I want to play is hilarious. But I'll give the floor to you first.
Oh no, to be honest, I don't really. I watched very on and off this.
So let's skip this clip. So in this clip, Glenn Greenwald fights on Brazilian TV interview. He just recalls, everybody has seen at that time where.
Glenn he fought with the guy.
He fought the guy.
PBD is amazing in this.
But no, I'm gonna show. No. What? If it says, I don't want to overpromise. I feel like anytime we say that, like this part is so good, then we play the part and it's like.
No, it's just in this whole.
Here
clip,
I think you're gonna get the best of PBD too.
Yeah, PBD is just so. The question he asks are the exact same questions that are on my head. Exact same questions. Like it's unbelievable, man.
It's too funny. So pretty much here, this part, Glenn is kind of talking. I'll just explain quickly. I mean, the Glenn is kind of context. Glenn is kind of talking about the deep state or like powerful like institutions. It's not this old conspiracy or like hidden person and all that. It's the chaps that and like in the different organizations and like everybody that we talk about. And every time PBD asks a question, it's the complete opposite. And he brings in analogy. Like Glenn asks this, but then PBD asks a follow-up question that's completely contrary to what Glenn is saying. So let's just listen to 2 to 3 minutes. It's
contrary, or I would say unrelated. Just
no,
simply unrelated.
contrary. No. It's no.
You would say
It's
contrary? Okay,
it's
let
a
me see
contrary follow-up question, which what makes it weird.
Contrary.
Do you get what I
Okay,
mean?
let's see this. Yeah, I don't. I'm not
It's as
sure.
if he
I thought,
hears the opposite of what Glenn says. So anyway, let's listen.
oh,
just
like
2 to
the
3
Jenks
minutes.
debate, like the
Yeah,
Jenk when
yeah,
Jenk went,
exactly.
how do we come together?
Yeah,
I don't know, but we hate each other,
Yeah.
don't we?
exactly.
The fourth branch of government is the permanent power faction in Washington that exists completely outside democratic accountability, the three-letter agencies, the administrative state. Those people are not there because they've consolidated control. They're serving a part of a broader elite, you know, the people who have an interest in ensuring that the population is kind of tamped down, that the country is sort of controlled, that stability is maintained, that it's impossible to organize in a meaningful way if you're a dissident. And so it's not that's what I mean. It's not some you don't need to imagine a conspiratorial council that meets in some underground lair somewhere. It's not out of a science fiction film. It's just based on how societies function. And that is it, that there is an elite in society, especially one that's unequal. And in those unequal societies, you can have power that starts to get more and more centralized and then more and more abused.
Yeah, but the way I'm thinking about it, like, for example, you watch the other day, Drake did a concert, and he came out of the concert with LeBron and his son, Bronny. Okay. There was alliances being built there, right? Because one of Drake's first songs was about, you know, last name ever, first name, you know, was it last name greatest, first name ever, something like that, right? Yeah. And, okay, so he made that song about LeBron, so there's an alliance there. No problem. You watch it in movies, and you'll see, you know, Mel Gibson talking to whoever. You'll see Brad Pitt talking to whoever. There's alliances there, right? Do these guys kind of just watch and say, ooh, that guy's becoming powerful. Let me get a hold of him. Can we go out to dinner together? Hey, what do you think about us doing this together? You think that's what it is? Or do you think it's more the money guys like a Larry Fink or a Soros or the ESG crowd or, you know, the State Street or, you know, the BlackRock and the Vanguards? Or is it more the big media guys? Well, all of this is controlled by Rupert Murdoch and, you know, all these or now it's more the powerful people of the Zuckerbergs and the Sergey and the Bezos. And who is the people at the top that truly are able to move it? Is it more political power? Is it more spying power? Is it more money? Which one of those is the most powerful in your eyes?
I think the U.S. government is a government that exists in servitude to economic power. You know,
servitude towards economic
power. So you go and talk to any member of Congress who's honest, and they will tell you that most of their time is spent either raising money from big donors or having the lobbyists for big donors write the bills. That is the reality of how most bills in Congress simply come from well-paid lobbyists who work for corporations. Now, again, it's not a totalitarian society where you can identify this one single power center. Right now, look at China, for example. You have different power centers that want different things with regard to China. Wall Street's in bed with China. They don't want antagonism with China. They love having a relationship with China where they put their low-paid, workers in China producing their sneakers and produce military industrial, where there's a government, it's oligarchy.
At the top is like, does
the government will tell who's got money.
So you heard what Glenn was saying, right? Like, you imagine what he said for the rest of this 10, 15 seconds, right? So now listen to where PBD goes.
The government itself is a government that is run by the people with the most amount of money, which is essentially oligarchy. And everyone who works inside the government who's honest will tell you that.
Okay, but does it at all interest you to want to know who the guy at the top is? Like, maybe this is just because something that I'm curious about. You know,
Glenn just spent 10 minutes saying how is this not one guy at the top, and then immediately his follow-up question is, do you want to be the one who finds the guy at the top? I mean, that's what I'm saying. A contradictory follow-up question. He literally heard the exact opposite of Glenn was saying, and then he followed up on that.
I don't think he heard anything. He has his own ideas, and he's a good interviewer, man. This is amazing. It's like, so what do you think? How do you think power is structured? I believe it's a fluid concept, power that rotates between different groups. I see. So do you know where they live? Where? Come on. Give me their addresses. Come on, Glenn. Glenn. If you think it's bankers, blink twice. Not bankers. What about the media guys? Do you think it's media guys? I mean, he's basically playing a game of mafia. Are you familiar? He's just going through different. So it's not mafia. So it's not media. It's not Rupert. We eliminate Rupert from the
everyone.
What about Levi? Do you know Levi? There was this rich Jewish guy, Levi, I know in LA.
Man.
Is he the guy? Is he the top guy? Who's the top guy?
Two things. One is I'm pissed. I'll tell you why I'm pissed at myself. I ruined something. But the second one is let's not even talk about the fact that his first question started with an analogy of Drake, a Drake concert, and then alliances. Let's not even, I mean, I can't even go there. I refuse to go. But I ruined it for you. The other guy, the co-host, says something really funny. It's a 1 second comment and it's pretty hilarious. I skipped over it. Hope it works.
But let's.
Oh, okay.
But should we not discuss the Drake and alliances between Drake and LeBron's son or something? What was that? I don't.
No, I know. No, listen. He's meant to. And there's something.
What the fuck is he?
No, listen. Drake made a song where he sings about LeBron James like 14 years ago, and I think he's referring to that alliance. Like they became friends there. So like, LeBron is like. I mean.
No, but he talked about their sons at a game, and
maybe they become friends then. So now they're hanging out. He's talking about alliances, Sam. What don't you understand about alliances?
Somebody needs to
not
clarify
hard to understand.
what PBD means by alliance. Because so far he's referred to friendships as alliance, he's referred to employer relationship as alliance, he's referred to everything as alliance. I can't watch. I need clarifications. But sorry. Let's move on.
But hopefully this works out of context. It's just 1 second. It's hilarious, and then we're done here.
A Cold War with China and more antagonism toward China. It's an example where there's a kind of conflicting agenda. So you get those often, but in reality, the government itself is a government that is run by the people with the most amount of money, which is essentially oligarchy, and everyone who works.
Oh fuck! I skipped it. It was, I guess, before that. Glenn is talking anyway, and this guy just goes, "Isn't that called an oligarchy?" Like, just like one of those student questions. I love it. Like, Professor Glenn, sorry to interrupt you. Isn't that an oligarchy? Yes, good. Here's a star for you.
Yeah. May I continue my talk now? Okay, good.
Yeah. But at least he's listening. Fucking PBD.
It's just writing like a fictional novel by its own. And then the top guy calls the medium guy, tells the middle guy, why did you do that? Why did you? And then the top guy, George Soros is the top guy, by the way, in my book. He's just.
And now
amazing,
in future interviews, he's in like future videos, he's gonna remember what he said to Glenn, and be like, when I told Glenn last time I was here, why don't you write a book on the one guy? Even though Glenn spent 10 minutes.
No,
there's not one guy.
Every time they see each other from now on, he's gonna be. So Glenn, any news on the top guy? Have you managed to identify the top guy? The guy.
Is it Bezos?
Elon? Is it Rupert?
Soros.
Rupert?
Oh.
No.
Is it like an outside the box guy? Like, Netanyahu on the side?
How many letters? Tell me. How many letters? Does it start with an R or with a consonant or a vowel? Tell me. Come on, Glenn. Well, they tell you you're a Pulitzer winning. God damn you. All that award, and I ask you to find one guy. And you're like, no, there is no one guy.
By the way, this just hit me. Oh my God, these are things you can talk about forever. This is my last comment. I'm not saying anything on PBD anymore. Is that PBD is not into aliens, right? They're not into the aliens.
I don't know. I hope he is. No, he must be. Come on, he's living in Florida. He should be. What the hell? Don't deprive us.
No, I think,
I can't
man.
wait. No.
I honestly
To
think that
business.
like even some unserious people find it just too comical.
Just too much. No, that's actually, to be fair, that's another Joe Rogan clone covers that very extensively, I think. Lex Friedman, I think he might
Oh,
be into that
jeez.
shit. I
Well,
would
that
imagine.
I
I
can't.
would imagine. Man, Lex Friedman has, I'm pretty sure YouTube has a deal with him. And I love you, YouTube. I bend the knee, whatever you need. But man, I've put not interested on so many of his videos. I put not, don't want to watch this, don't want to watch this. So many I put on the app, and it's still like when I sleep with YouTube a lot of times, and I still wake up suddenly in the middle of a Lex Friedman interview with Ben Shapiro.
Thank God I don't get that. Yeah, that's no.
Jesus God, I don't know how to get rid of this motherfucker. Since the time we did the thing, it's because it's like a virus in my algorithm. It's not letting go. It's just destroying my life. No, it's not this. I'm taking it way too.
No, he's
I'm
so annoying.
exaggerating.
No, he's so annoying.
So it is
Pisses me off so
destroying my life.
much.
I wasn't exact. It is my life is being destroyed by this YouTube.
No,
Yeah, he's very annoying.
terribly annoying. But
Terrible.
okay. Should we continue? What do we have next? Oh,
We have
Gray
the
Zone.
I thought there was a bit of a slow news week, so I don't know. Was there anything geopolitical, anything that interested you? There were BRICS. I again met
Oh,
and
yeah, the BRICS stuff is. Wait, so they've officially invited these other countries?
They officially became members. I think
Members, yeah.
invitation was a long time ago. I think.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
basically,
this is where I
India
stand.
got owned.
Yeah, India. Yeah, and yeah. I mean, so anyway, for anybody, I guess, who doesn't know, we're just gonna say it very quickly. The BRICS, whatever organizations, they've accepted 6 new countries, including Iran and some other ones. I was just pissed at some articles that I saw. Some people saying this is world changing, life changing, and then like if anybody else said, okay, this is like the most meaningless. It's not the most meaningless. It does have a potential for being like a semi-accelerate influential organization, right? I mean, it's not like the bottom of the barrel of something, right? Of like a, one of these NATO kind of things, whatever.
It's this right now in terms of power. I would put these type of institutions just below the top ones, which are like IMF, World Banks, and stuff. Which even those don't really have that much power. So just global institutions generally are not very powerful. First of all. Second, I would say it's an accelerating trend for sure. I mean, but this is again like since World War II pretty much ended, or sorry, 5 years after World War II ended, it has been an accelerating trend towards like increasing power in China and India. So I don't like, it's not like, or this is not like, again, people, oh my god, I don't know if you saw, but Breaking Point, Sager, again, he had, can you believe it? And this is a clear results of our policy in Ukraine. These are clear results of our policy in Ukraine. Otherwise, Saudis, they see us in Ukraine and they're like, fuck you, we go with Iran. Brazilian sauce in Ukraine and they're like, no, we are with... Nobody gives a shit about Ukraine. Everybody is like doing their own thing. All these countries would backstab each other faster than they would backstab America. Like this, again, like everything needs to become because that's what news is today. Everything has to be a breaking news. Everything has to be important and can change. Like if only we didn't go Ukraine, though, nobody would have thought of
minimum would be $45
using a different currency. Nobody had thought of using a different currency.
Nobody would have
before Ukraine war. It's just the idea of using different thing than a dollar. No way. An accelerating trend, but I don't know why do you have to be so alarmist about it. But yeah, besides that, there was nothing big going on. So
you like my analysis there? You like my analysis there? I had an analysis ready. I didn't even know we were gonna talk about it. I was like, no worries. Here's my take up front. Let me just put it on the table. So I think it's neither this nor that. That's always a bulletproof position, it's like. In the middle.
It's Robbie's.
Dodging.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we learned from Robbie on the hill.
Just
The best
don't
thing
have
you
a
can do is
take.
say, I see your point, but I see other people's point of view too. It's the best thing to say at the end of any conversation. Just, I'll listen to you, but
I also
but
listen
also
to
I
other
listen to
people.
other podcasts. So that's how you should do it, man. But no, I must say I was impressed when we started at Bricks. You didn't like immediately connect it to food or a sport somehow. So yeah, it was like impressive. It was, don't get me wrong. But then I just saw I was bored, so I googled like gray zone and stuff.
But this is a
and
new
Matt
video.
Taibbi. Yeah, but it's just no, don't play the video.
Yeah.
I mean, you can play this part.
Yeah,
of it.
this
You
part's
can play
funny.
this part. Yeah, this part.
Leader of the free world, I'd promote policies that would be an effective deterrent, so we never have to answer that question.
Mr. Vice President?
I gotta get him in. If we were to let Putin overrun Ukraine, it would only be a matter of time before he crossed the border that we'd have to fight him. And I hold to the view that if a country's willing to fight the enemies of this country, let's give them the means to fight them there so we don't have to fight.
What about the nuclear risk? What about the nuclear risk of Ukraine, Mike Pence?
No comment.
So Gray Zone continues to, it seems, to follow politicians and just, like the Ro Khanna thing. This reminded me of that, but yeah.
No, but this is
Like,
after
just-
the Republican convention.
Yeah,
I mean, not
this
that
is
there's anything
IO,
wrong with
right?
the other one too.
No. It's just, yeah. Do we need to ask these people questions? Like,
Yeah.
they publicly state their positions. Like, they are very open about everything. What about the threat of nuclear weapons? We should support Ukraine. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. Do you want me to spell it out for you? So I saw that. Then I went to Useful Idiots or Matt Taibbi. Go there.
Oh, Matt, honestly, I forgot about the goddamn.
Man, Matt
I forgot
Taibbi.
about the Twitter files. I thought Elon pulled the plug on that, but I guess Matt.
No,
still
this
has-
is from old.
No, it's just only
Yeah.
from 3 weeks ago. He still has,
Man.
whatever he published before is still his, so you can't talk.
Yeah. He's got his notes. He couldn't burn them.
Yeah, he's like,
But-
so
no,
I
but
don't. go ahead.
I was looking at him, and it's just, man, it's like it's kind of like Ken Klippe's thing, but kind of worse, because I was looking at like basically all the channel he's getting invited to are now called the Freedom House, the rational men of the West, all those freedom, reason type stuff, the names that are clearly
Yeah.
libertarian or whatever. So yeah, he's just going to those. He's like, and the views are pretty low and stuff. It's
But I
like
mean,
he
this
really
is
did a
something it
number.
looks like he could get paid for, though.
Yeah, this exactly that. But he used to, do you think he still would be able to get on Bill Maher, or he fucked
Yeah.
it too bad?
No.
You think no, he would be able to?
Yeah, Bill
I
Maher,
don't know,
yeah.
man. No, because no, I like, yeah.
No,
All right.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I guess.
No, for sure. No, I mean, like, yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, and then I watched a bit of Useful Idiots. That was just the same old, Can you believe it, Camille? People who criticize Trump are also hypocrites.
Mhm.
Did you know? I mean, you are still big on hypocrisy stuff, or you care about hypocrisy?
Yeah, but this
Don't you?
video, I mean, honestly, I watched it, and then as soon as it finished, I was like, what did they say?
Man, it would be nice if, I mean,
Let's go back to PBD aliens and Glenn. How can you
PBD,
can you actually just
PBD,
come to the Hill
PBD,
studio? Actually, no.
PBD.
I'll tell the Hill to come over, okay? You have a nicer place. Keep Glenn's Glenn
No, can
and
we-
alien story. Go.
Why, man? YouTube needs to remarket itself as PBD and just start exclusive PBD content, just about everything. Just PBD content tells us.
Man,
his
someone
views
said
about
that we
anything.
should do that, and
So much more fun.
I think they might have
I'm
been
up
onto
for-
something.
Yeah, but it's definitely more fun whenever we are talking about him. I don't know about the views, but
And
we
he's
can see
diverse topic.
if
You know,
the
one day
views
he
are good.
brings Glenn, the next day he brings someone totally different.
Man, talking of diverse, what you talk about next day? He's talking about the global elite and who's on top, and he's like, I remember Drake yesterday with his son. He was meeting LeBron, and they made the alliance. And then you see a movie, Brad Pitt is making alliance. Like there's everything all the time. Like he's amazing, man. But yeah, it's just
Yeah.
There was nothing to really, clip out of the useful idiots and stuff. It was just, usual. Everybody's a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Interest.
But okay, so I just saw we have something fun lined up right after. Jordan Peterson, a blast from the past, as they say. Alrighty, Sam. I feel like thanks to our good pacing there in that middle part, we managed to, pick up again. This is turning into like with the timing, it's like some kind of strategic race too. And like it's okay. We'll go hard here, but then you have to go a bit slow, you don't want the engine to overheat, okay? And then now you can again start moving the gears back up. And let's first start with Jordan Peterson. It's actually an old story, turn into a new story, but I don't know. It's just funny. The discussion is funny. I don't even know if we hear about Jordan itself, but yeah, so pretty much go ahead, give the update.
So he following his tweets about other people and other social issues on Twitter and X, I don't know, you can't even give a brief anymore. He was by the board that had given him the license to be a psychiatrist, to be a practicing psychiatrist, was had suspended him or he was under review. And then a court decided that that the board that was licensing him was legally correct in forcing him into attending social media classes, otherwise they're gonna basically take away his license. So that's the gist of it. And then Jordan Peterson is saying that they're basically destroying my freedom of speech because they're saying that if I say what I want to say, they are taking my license away. And and one of the examples of the type of things he said was, for example, the thing they discuss here was his tweet about Mehdi Hassan, the news reporter who I despise, by the way. Robbie says the same thing exactly, and then sorry, I swear to God this was not planned, but anyway, I loathe him, I guess. It's about him, and it's truly I would say idiotic tweet. He says that I forget, I'm paraphrasing, but Jordan Peterson refers to Mehdi Hassan says, listen to this brown man about something, and then Jordan Peterson says, you're not really brown, you're light-skinned, if anything, and I forget, but something idiotic about his, I mean, again, I don't want to defend Mehdi Hassan. I don't want anybody to misconstrue me laughing at Jordan Peterson for defending me. Like, they're both awful human beings, equally deserving of contempt. So, just it's really hard. It's the best type of a story. Everybody's bad. And now, I was going to ask you, where do you stand on this issue? Or do you want to first listen to Bree and Robbie's views on the
No, you're right. Like, that's the funny part to just get into straight away, debate about freedom of speech. And so Robbie says a freedom of speech issue, but then Bree is like, well, no, like it's an employer taking it away. And an employer isn't forced to, work with someone. And then Robbie says, but this is, a semi-public organization. Therefore has to, obey by freedom of speech stuff. And I don't think that's how it works, no? And all this is hypothetical. There's no freedom of speech in Canada. Yeah. But let's imagine, okay? For the purposes of this conversation.
Man, you have no idea how many times I've seen in Iran people being arrested saying, I know my rights. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is not an American movie. There is no Miranda rights or any rights. Shut the fuck This
No, yeah,
American movie
that's the
has ruined
funny
people's
thing.
brain.
Listen, don't ruin the story, okay? So, it takes place on Mars, okay? And there's no gravity either.
Where
Bear that in
freedom of
mind.
speech is freedom of speech has passed obviously on Mars. You know, no, but I mean it's beyond. I mean we're gonna laugh at it, but just in a nutshell, in my view, the level of freedom of speech some people are calling for is just beyond. Like,
Oh, are you
it's not
anti-freedom of
freedom.
speech guy?
I guess I am now because it's like if I cannot talk to the bus driver all the time, you are limiting my speech. I need to talk to the bus driver right now. Let me talk to the bus driver. It's like, no, freedom of speech does not mean freedom from the consequence of a speech, like all consequences.
Yeah.
Like the level of freedom, if they give this level of freedom to everybody, no institution would be able to, like, we stand
Yeah,
within
true.
5
Imagine
years.
if you work for like a public office, like you can
And
just do whatever you want. Fuck you, boss. Yeah, freedom of speech. There was no threat
nothing.
there. I just simply said fuck you.
It's just nothing would, nothing would be able to happen. No project would go through. Like if everybody just constantly like, I need in this meeting, I need my freedom of speech. I need to be able to shout at it. Like that is, but I'm sorry, you can't go, it's a board. That board licensed you, and now that board is saying that they don't want to license you
No,
anymore.
they're just saying
I
take
think
some
it's
fucking
unfair.
courses too.
And
Also, it's like as if they're gonna,
no,
take his wife away.
no, but they want him to change.
Yeah.
No, but if he takes those courses and still he tweets these things, I assume they say like you need to stop. But you are not really black. Fuck you. God damn it, Jordan! At it again with the. It's just again, like it's like I want to be a critic of U.S. government. I also would like a top position in a mainstream news organization. I would also like to have the best algorithmic situation for whenever I put my content out. Then I will have freedom of speech. I fuck off, like this is like. What is this? Like nonsense. And again, like they're not even like he's not even practicing psychiatry anymore, so they're not threatening his livelihood. Like he's not a practicing psychiatrist. So it's just I don't understand what they want. What do you want? What you want basically to people to tell you that you're people who disagree with you to license you, like. I don't get it. Like, I don't want the Islamic Republic to license me. I don't go around saying, "Oh, Islamic Republic." It's ridiculous, man. I don't want to understand anything anymore. I feel. I don't know. Am I crazy or?
No,
You're
no.
crazy.
But yeah, I had forgotten about Jordan Peterson. It had been a while.
Oh, he's completely like he lost his appeal, man. Because like you can clean your room a couple of times, wait for a miracle. Okay,
Did he really lose popularity in the last 6 months, or is it just like in our heads? We think that.
I think he's lost touch with the zeitgeist a bit, but maybe it's a bit in our head too.
He could come back, but on something different.
I remember I recently. Oh no, he did have a. No, he recently apparently because of the he lost a lot of support among the freedom of speech people apparently because he even on Twitter put like something that should social media companies be responsible for the harassment that is caused by their something along those lines. So I think he lost quite a bit of that type of people.
Should social media censor what I don't agree with?
Man, I have, by the way, I never seen like just if there were ever a gang of people who ever made the case for for anti-freedom of speech, for putting severe speech regulations in place. Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, you know, Joe Rogan sometimes. You know, it's just like you're like, come on, man. I know I agree with the freedom of speech, but can you just shut up? You're really not helping. Like, if you could shut the fuck up just about this issue, please, please. It's the worst gang.
Peterson has existed.
Oh, sorry. I agree.
But yeah, I was in a surprise agreement with Brie. I really felt her frustration because I usually do this. Come on, guys.
Oh shit! Sorry again. Sorry. But okay, let's move on to this other video, and I think this one is very. Tucker is just hilarious. I mean, it's 20 seconds of pure bullshit. So the video is called Tucker Carlson. The real reason U.S. elites hate Russia, Hungary is because they're. We'll see why. Go ahead. Sorry.
Because they're Christian. Sorry, I was just going to say we can probably finish off with this because the other three stories, every story now, we are entering the Latin/Christian zone of the program now. So all
okay,
so
you don't want to play this funny clip now?
No, I play it, but I'm just saying I was just saying that it's all Christianity related and Latin related from now on.
Yeah, too bad this. Very short though. The clip.
Yeah, it's
you just said it all.
And they hate it not because of what it's done, but because of that. That's what Tucker Carlson thinks, and he suggested as much
Tucker,
in a recent speech. Let's watch that.
They hate Hungary. And they hate it not because of what it's done, but because of what it is. It's a Christian country, and they hate that. And that's the truth. And nobody wants to say it, but it's true. And it's not a particularly provocative Christian country. I don't think most Hungarians go to church. It's not a theocracy. You're not required to believe in the catechism to live here. It's nothing like that. It's a soft Christian country, the softest ever. 300 years ago, people would look at modern Hungary and say, that's not a Christian country. But by modern standards, it's one of the last countries that identifies as a nation built on Christian precepts. Again, not imposing them on anyone else. But that is enough to incite our policymakers in the United States. And that is exactly why they hate Russia. By the way, I'm not a fan of Russia, and if I was, I wouldn't admit it to a Hungarian audience.
Did he just describe half of the countries in the world? They're Christian. They're not super Christian, though. Yeah. I'm like, okay, and you literally described all of Europe, all of Africa, and all of Latin America.
No, first of all, Hungary is super Christian. Secondly,
for some reason they decided to downplay his own argument.
Did you see the qualifiers? It's not a super Christian. It wouldn't be a super Christian country if 300 years ago you were a Christian. If you went to a completely different era, it would seem different. No shit. Before the discovery of antibiotics and gravity, it would yes, Hungary would seem a completely different name. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, if you go, the qualifier was amazing. Yeah, if
that
you go
was
like
some
300
serious
years ago,
nonsense.
it wouldn't seem so Christian, would it? Like, if you go like 2,000 years ago, the Persian they spoke would be not understandable to us. So I don't think we are Iranians anymore. What is this? I mean, and by the way, I just quickly Googled Hungary, and I see at least on the Wikipedia page,
Hungary was exactly the same 300 years ago.
Well, that obviously that is the headline, but below that it's mentioned quite a few times that it is a Christian nation. He said nobody's allowed to say, nobody dares.
Yeah, I know. For some reason, yeah.
What is he talking about? No. Margot Robbie's hot. Camera. Nobody is allowed to say it, but I am brave enough to come out here and say, Sophia Loren was attractive back in the days. I am brave enough to admit. Are you brave enough?
I think that was the stupidest clip. I mean, okay. The stupidest things so far are probably PBD's questions that we listened to, but this came in second.
Questions are not as stupid. PBD's questions are getting to underlying truth that we do not yet understand. We have to go. It's a Gnostic text. PBD is writing a Gnostic text there. You have to read it a couple of times. Layers. There are layers, man. He probably we watch it in 5 years and we are like, oh my God, he like at that like probably by that time they found the guy, the top guy, so we are like he knew it. But yeah, Tucker's audience. Did you see the audience, man?
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah,
Some of
average
them were
age, I think
kids.
92.
No, it's either seniors or kids.
Yeah, they're grandchildren who are chaperoning them there because otherwise, they might die under the heat. But yeah, it feels like a very sort of a low energy hang, to be honest. Can you imagine giving a speech? Yeah. Man, I gotta say though, from very little experience I have in Eastern Europe, their Christianity, and talking of Christianity, is very similar to Islam. The Orthodox, more similar to Islam than Catholic, I think. But did you have, so you are our South American correspondent, as we've discussed many times. And have you heard about this?
No, what is this? I don't even the slightest clue.
The false prophet versus the Pope. Argentina faces clash of ideologies in election. Javier Milei, I think I'm pronouncing that right, a culture war populist and a sex coach who won country's open primaries, rages at communist pontiff as he sets out his sights on becoming president. So this guy's, I think he came first in the open primaries, and now there is a good chance he's going to become the president of Argentina. No way. Yeah, man, he's a sex coach. It's going to be great. We're going to have finally somebody teaching us at the global.
Yeah, no, I feel like a vacuum was left in terms of crazy guys.
Bolsonaro? Yeah, crazy.
No, a few years ago there was Bolsonaro, Duterte, and Trump. We still don't know if he's gonna, make it or not. It's 50-50.
Yeah, we don't want to jinx it, especially.
Boris is out.
Boris is out. Yeah, you're right. Who do we?
So this guy is like, he's like, hold on to my drink, guys. I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
Okay, I got you.
I'll represent
What
us.
is your job? Sex coach. What? Yeah, I top everything. So, yeah. Are you? Have you been to Argentina just because you went to Brazil?
No.
I thought maybe, perhaps. No. Are you familiar with the politics?
No. I would really like to go to Buenos Aires. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does. Me too. But
last time I gave you a breakdown of their demographics. I know that. But politics? No, I mean, of course, politics. Actually, sorry. Yeah, I've heard about Argentina a lot because of all the IMF bails and going bankrupt and neoliberalism and blah, blah, blah. You hear about them
I know that much. Yeah. Me too. I thought maybe a bit more.
Did you hear dropped in IMF there? Name dropping.
Yeah, name dropping. You know IMF, Ken? I know IMF. No, apparently he's anti-abortion as well. I don't know. I don't get this. Like, we have so many sexually active men who are so anti-abortion. I don't get it. Like, sex coach, Trump. What's going on? I mean, Trump is not anti-abortion. His allies are. But I don't know. He looks good. He's got the looks, I think.
No, he looks
what do you think?
Horrible.
No, this is a bad picture. I mean, he's old as well. But
no, he's only 52.
That's not old, you think?
That's not even 2 decades older than us. No, he has some wacky shit with his hair, it seems, though.
Yeah, exactly. Look at him. He looks like he's like a 70s.
Okay, here he looks like a British actor.
Yeah, look, he's
British
not that
comedian
bad,
in the IT or something.
70s ITV.
No,
IT crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Matt Berry? Yeah, he does. Yeah, I see what you mean. His hair, especially, it looks like a bit like Matt Berry. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, he's had his own radio show. He's got,
That's where it all
very
starts.
Interesting man. But what we do know that he doesn't like the communist pontiff, who recently, have you heard, man, this guy, the Pope has been he recently told, told some Russian guys to be proud of their heritage, and everybody in America lost it. and now he's telling American Catholics are a bit too assholes, too much of an asshole. Really, guys, I know. Look, I'm the Pope. I know an asshole, but these guys,
he calls it as this.
He's an interesting, guy. Yeah. So that's he's going around trying to keep the Vatican sort of a scam going, and Frank, well done to Vatican, by the way. 2,000 years and it's still going. Very well done.
True.
And
you gotta, you
gotta respect the long game.
Yeah.
You
Give credit where
it.
credit's due.
Yeah, over 2,000 years of scamming people.
It's not easy.
For
You think it's easy? You go do it. It's so easy.
Oh, you think this is? Oh, it's so easy. You just manipulate people. Go ahead if you can do it.
So this is what you were referring to, huh?
Yeah. He's going all. Yeah, I don't know if I think he's considering doing a turn to the east. He might just say, fuck it, Catholic Church is part of the Orthodox. It's not off-brand for him?
No. He's like, he's like the lefty, hippie
Pope
you're right, that came in after the neoliberal.
The Pope. Sorry, the Pope that came after the Nazi Pope. He wasn't even neoliberal. He was like a Nazi, potentially a child abuser Pope. But yeah.
Neoliberal
you're
is
right.
Also,
you're right. Oh yeah, you're right. His customer base is mostly third world, Africa and South America now. Catholic Church. It's not Europe, so they have to accommodate to the customer base. I guess the market is really shifted towards the. Yeah, you're right. That's you're right. And then at the end, talking of Latin cultures and
you're following this story closely. Huh?
I'm following because I'm learning more and more about the Spanish culture. So this is as some people might not know, but the Spanish head of football leagues is accused of sexual harass or assault because he kissed the female football player after she won the World Cup. She was one of the people who won. And now there is an amazing update. So they changed the headline. Oh, no, but it's still in the subtitle. So read, please, Camille, because it's amazing.
Prosecutors investing whether football chief's kiss was sexual assault. Spain's top criminal court examines Luis Rubiales' actions, while football chief's mother goes on hunger strike to support him.
Goes on hunger strike to support him. Like, that is the weirdest.
To support him of what?
In his ordeal. In his media prosecution, I suppose.
It's not like they're gonna kill him or like send him to prison for life. They're kind of like, he's gonna have to. Yeah.
for a
like,
Spanish
thank you,
mother.
ma'am. You can't stop. I mean, we're done with your son. Like, the process is done. Like, everything is over. You can eat again if you want.
Come here. Sorry. Yeah, no, you gotta imagine how extremely annoying this motherfucker is, that his mom is like, oh, you're sending him back home, like he's gonna be more hours at home. I'm going on under. I'm going on. He needs his job back. He needs his job. He does the kissing thing with me too. I hate it too. He's always trying to kiss my lips, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. But he always does. So I think that's probably why the mother went on a strike. I think it's a low key sort of trying to get him out of the house situation. As but what's with the mothers, man? They're all intervening. There was another Zuckerberg. There was another Khabib. Khabib's mother was like, no more fighting. And Khabib was like, I promise, mother. It's like,
you don't know actually the biggest mother story ever in MMA. This Khabib one.
What is that?
There's one where some guy in a press conference, is too funny, you have to see it, but he pretty much says something about the other person's mother. He doesn't even insult. He literally just asks or says, and the other guy's like, don't you ever talk about my mother this way? Don't you ever? And he gets up and it's like a whole like meme and shit. And it's just hilarious. He takes it so far. The guy like, it wasn't even like, there was some mother thing in there, but it wasn't, like
Very
you know, the
exclusive.
worst thing from our record. But then this guy, it's just all about his response. He's like, if you ever talk about my mother.
It's so funny. It's sports. You know, in Iran to this day, a sport like, you know, very like tough sports people. They all have this tattoo of the first love and the last love, mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell is going on in this sports atmosphere? So hilarious, man. I love to see that video. It reminds me of, again, this is my favorite
I'll show it
sketch
to you next time.
from Key and Peele, the boxing one, man. You know, they have this sketch where there are two boxers. You know, boxers, they build up fights and
Yeah.
they're like, you know, when I see him, I'm gonna punch the shit out of him or something, you know, like exaggerate.
Trash talk.
And trash talk, yeah, exactly. And then they have one guy who's doing the normal trash talk, and then they have one clearly psychotic guy going, when I put my hands around
I've
your
seen that
neck.
one.
Yeah,
The
it's so
American
good.
guy and the other guy's Brazilian. He pretends like he's Brazilian.
Yeah,
The
he's
guy that you're
Brazilian type.
describing. He like kind of
And
is
he's
like
Christian.
Yeah.
He's like doing,
And the other guy's like very like American. He's like, you know, like you're gonna take him down. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
that's my favorite probably.
Yeah, that's
I
really
love it when the
funny.
American guy is like, does this guy know we are just joking, right? This is for money. This is to hype the game.
Yeah, that's really
So
funny,
good,
that
so
one. But
Anyways.
yeah, this guy got
So no tips
way
on
too excited for nothing. That
You're
would be
not-
my main question to him. I'd be like, chillax.
What? Who?
We didn't
Him?
discover aliens. Yeah, this guy. He was just so ecstatic.
Oh,
that
with
he
the kiss?
kissed. Yeah, that he didn't even know what he was doing. That he kissed her. You're like,
That was
that's
his
the main
probably
problem.
his-
You should never get that excited about anything. Okay, you don't want to hear that excuse. Use it other
above
things too. I
12.
got so excited. I just pushed this person. I don't know what I was doing. Like, it's not really like a get out of jail card, you know.
I mean, after 12,
With
below 12, it is. But after 12, it's a bit difficult.
Yeah,
to,
like
go
maybe
with that.
it will explain it, but not always. I'm just telling you, know, like,
Totally, it's not-
don't go around just
getting excited, kissing people.
yeah, or doing whatever.
No, but I gotta say though, it was probably his last. Like, you know, it's not gonna he had to keep his job for another 4 years, which with his behavior
No, he
was
would. He
difficult.
would. He was
He
the
was
head
his-
of the Spanish Football Federation. He wasn't a coach or
No, but with
something.
his behavior.
Oh,
We,
well then,
I'm
but
just
you
saying
know,
with his, so this
if
was his
you
last
have-
chance of kissing her, probably.
yeah, but I mean, if you have
Look
this
at
kind
it
of
this way.
behavior, a lot of people, they also know of other people who have this behavior and they keep dirt on them, and then they make sure that nothing comes out on them as long as they don't do anything crazy. Anyway, I'm just like,
Anyway,
I'm not like,
this is how,
he
by
could
the
have
way-
literally just gotten a bit too excited and whatever. I just did that, and you know, poor him and the mom on the hunger strike. But I'm just saying.
and now his mom is on hunger strike. His uncle is abandoning his business, probably.
I'm just-
His father is moving back to Spain.
Regardless of how this goes, go see a shrink work on your excitement, emotions.
Yeah. I mean, again, I mean, I still stand by my last week's analysis that I believe in Southern European cultures, I think this is observed as a normal. But the anthropologists, I've been told, anthropologists have seen
Perhaps.
such behavior.
Maybe next
before.
time bring something, yeah.
Bring some
I'll
like,
look into
yeah, I
it.
have some pictures of there are some cave paintings. There are some cave paintings in northern Italy describing a similar situation when they won the match with the decapitated head of a different tribe, and then the tribal leader kissed the lady. So there is that.
But listen, I think we done well again and left just enough time to just maybe wrap up with this Andrew Schultz video. So the title of the video is Andrew Schultz going crazy during argument with Charlemagne, or however say it. The real title should be like everybody going crazy. I think that would that would have been a more fair title, but it's a shit show. We're gonna watch some of it, talk about it. Go ahead.
It's a shit show. No, I was just gonna say I think it would be better if we have this video just separate from the show.
Okay.
So I just thought maybe you want to say just bye for the end of the show.
Okay, all right. On that note, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video. Thank you.